So, welcome to the New Year Challenge. Technically, this is day 3. Thank you all so much who are joining us live. Um, Today, my co-presenter is Lauren Wood.
Hi, I'm Lauren. I am a relationship and wilderness coach for women, and I focus mainly on how we can become more embodied in ourselves and then bring that into our relationships to find deeper connection and intimacy.
Awesome. Lauren, can you guide us through something?
Well, we're in early winter, and early winter is all about grounding and the root chakra and just coming back to the earth, yeah, the elements of the earth. And our bodies are an extension of earth. The reason I'm bringing this one is a few days ago, I took some plant medicine with a friend, and I noticed that regardless of how present I was in my body, as soon as someone else had a strong feeling, um, this other person, for instance, I immediately left my body and went to be with them. And I was suddenly involved in their anxiety, or I was suddenly involved in their anger. And even though it wasn't my own, I felt myself taking that on. And quite often we can be in our own river of life, going with our own flow, and it's suddenly we're dragged into someone else's river. And what I would like to bring more practice into is how do we drop out of that river and get back into our own river? And so we can be two rivers flowing next to each other. I'm just going to take you through a series of little things to do. And now these can all be done individually, or if you put them all together, it's a complicated yet very rich and grounding experience. I don't know if you've ever seen David Attenborough programs where the lion is chasing the antelope and the antelope gets away and the lion's like, oh, and the antelope, I don't know if it ever shows this, but the antelope's doing a little bit of a dance. And so the first thing I invite you to do this morning is do a bit of a dance. And it's basically just shaking. So if we've got adrenaline in our bodies, the best way to get rid of it quickly is just have a quick shake. So I invite you all just to have a bit of a shake and and really feel it going all the way down your spine and down into your tailbone. Give your bum a bit of a wiggle if you want to. And particularly shaking your arms and if you want to make a bit of a noise while you're doing it, feel free. If not, that's okay too. It's like, and maybe just give your feet a bit of a shake as well, just to allow any of the excess energy to come out through our bodies and down through our feet. Okay, that's exercise 1. And now the second part of this is we've got rid of the hormones that might be stopping us from coming into our body. Then how do we bring presence? So one exercise you can do is, again, if you think of an animal, whilst it's looking for prey, it's looking straight on, not prey, a predator. If it's heard a noise in the undergrowth, it suddenly goes, and its attention is focused and direct. When it's grazing, it's got more of an expansive awareness. It's relaxed, it's grazing, and maybe it's keeping an eye out, but mostly it's like, I'm safe, I'm safe. So we almost work in the same way, and we can achieve that wider angle feeling of safety for ourselves. So to do that, we get our fingers in front of us like this. And what I invite you to do is stay looking forwards, maybe at the screen. And at the same time, I want you to move your fingers apart and move them around to the side of your head whilst looking at the screen, but you've still got these in your awareness, so you can see them in the sides of your eyes, in your peripheral vision. And keep moving it round to the side of your head until you can't see them anymore. And then when you've got to the point where you can't see them anymore, bring them forward ever so slightly until they're just in your peripheral vision. And now what I'd like you to do is just stay with this for a moment and just notice. Keep those fingers in your vision. And once you've got the hang of it, just have a go at moving your head around the room and focusing on other things in your room whilst keeping those fingers in your peripheral vision. You might notice that things might feel quieter, things might have slowed down, or you might not notice anything at all, and that's all okay. And that's exercise number 2. And then exercise number 3, I'm just getting my hair away from my ears. Get your ears out if your ears are covered like mine. Everyone get their ears out. And so number 3 is the other thing, that when an animal's grazing, their ears are always moving all around, just to pick up on the noises, just to make sure it's okay. So you can do this in 2 ways. You can either use your hands if you fancy it, just to see what it's like, or you can just listen. And what we're going to do is just take a moment to listen in all directions. So I just invite you, if you feel like you need to close your eyes to do this, then please do. But just take a moment to just notice any and all sounds around you. And then when you've noticed any sounds around you, I want you to focus on the sound that is furthest away. Then I'll like you to focus on the sound that is directly in front of you, any sounds. And if you want to, you can put your hands like little animal ears and cup, if it helps you to focus your hearing in that direction. And then when you notice the sounds in front of you, you can turn your cups the other way around, or your ears the other way around, and just listen to any sounds that are behind you. Just noticing. And then saying to the left or right, it doesn't matter which way, one way. And maybe to help you just to distinguish, you can cover one ear, but you don't need to. And then the other way. And just noticing, is there any difference? Are there any sounds that are more apparent? Is one of your ear more clogged than the other, which is now what I'm realizing? And I'm noticing now we're coming to the end of the time, so I'll just finish off by saying you can use these together. So one of the things that you can do, and you might want to practice this after, is you can get into this vision where you've got peripheral vision and at the same time be holding the sounds of the room. And then if you really want to, you can bring in some mindful walking and just bringing in the really gentle, slow pace. You might look a bit weird, but it really helps just to ground you in your body if your mind's racing. And that's me.
Thank you so much, Lauren. Come up to standing if you're not already. And just start off in mountain pose with your feet parallel underneath your hips, just balancing your hips, your shoulders, your head above your feet. Close your eyes and notice the layers of sound around you. Taking a moment to observe how your inner ears switch between different levels and places of sound. Then let's work with some spinal rolls. So soften your knees. Let your head come forwards. Let your spine roll down. Just going to as far as feels comfortable. If you have like disc issues in your lower back, maybe keep your hands on your thighs so you're not going too far. If it feels fine to go further, then do, but without straining or stressing. Next time you inhale, start to uncurl back up really slowly. You're slowly stacking back up. We'll do this a few times. And as you do this, I want you to tune into that sense of your peripheral vision. So imagine you have like eyes on the side of your head. So the eyes on the side of your head are kind of on some level. Just looking out from the sides of your head, being more in your peripheral vision. Whether you're doing this eyes closed or eyes open, like really slowly rolling up and down with a sense of connecting to your body at the same time. Feeling your body, feeling your head. Imagining you've got eyes on the side of your head, like, like an antelope or something. When you're coming in and out of this rolling forward bend, have your knees bent a little. Next time you come to being upright, just shift back into mountain pose, into that sense of being still, and observe what you feel like in the stillness. Observe if you feel stressed internally or calm internally, what's going on in your inner hormonal soup. And let's do a bit of shaking. Let's do this as an inhale through your nose and then exhale through your mouth and shake a lot. Let's do 3 more. Really go for it. After that one, just shift back into stillness for a moment, noticing if that made a difference internally. Even if it's like a 10% difference, that's really good. You might feel like you want to play more with shaking later on today. Okay, let's do one more thing. Let's come into Warrior One, which is a really typical yoga pose. If you're on a mat, face towards one of the short sides of your mat, and then step your left foot forward and your right foot back, and then bend your left knee. Face your hips towards the short side of the mat. Just for a moment, feel your feet, your legs. Find your balance. And then we'll just move our arms. So as you inhale, sweep your arms forwards. As you exhale, lower your arms down. Come back to those practices of being aware of sound and of having a sense of your peripheral vision. What's in your peripheral vision right now? Then bring your arms down, switch your legs about. So you've got your right leg forward, left leg back. Bend your right knee. And same thing with your arms. Being with your body, in your body. Noticing sound. Tuning into your peripheral vision. Then step forward, come into mountain pose. Take a moment in stillness, just observing your inner world. So thank you so much for joining me and Lauren for this practice this morning. I'll put links to all the other presenters' offerings in the description and comments below if you're watching the video, and I'll see you soon. Have a great day.